first of all, before we like get into the details, like what are you? What's your job? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
What's my job? I am an ABA para.
Okay.
I do one-on-one ABA therapy. I run group therapy for ABA. I do care management in Hamaspec.
Cool.
And starting soon, we're going to start psychotherapy.
Awesome. You're one of those people that like you have like all the certifications. I've always noticed this about you. Like every time there's another certification for you to have, somehow you have it. I've always been actually amazed by you specifically when it comes to this. Like, how do you even get there to the point where you're able to dedicate yourself, like you as an individual? How do you dedicate yourself to just like plug away and get the certification and learn the things that you need to do?
It's a complicated question because I didn't really think about it, but I will probably answer by saying I believe that knowledge is power. So once you, the more you know, the better you become. I always like to prove to myself that I could do stuff no matter how hard it is. I do not believe that it's something that I cannot do.
Sure.
And if I put a mindset to it, I could do it. I'm always interested about studying and learning more stuff. So when I have the opportunity, I'm just going to jump in, study it, and complete it.
Do you have a social life? No, I'm kidding. So I
do not have a social life.
You do not.
I started to have a social life by getting.
I still see you.
So I actually started to get my social life by having my new job as the NEFESH head chapter of Rockland County.
So I actually wanted to get into that. You like myself are an IDF veteran.
That's correct.
Where did you serve?
I served in the Engineer Corps of the Air Force.
Engineer Corps of the Air Force. So going from, very technical. Engineer Corps is, it's engineering. It's not exactly engineering, right?
Operating heavy machinery. Driving on...
How did you go from that to, leaving, coming to the United States, and then going into like the therapy world?
So the truth is, I didn't have an easy life.
Okay.
And from the age of 13, I volunteered in a hospital with kids who have kidney failures. I was introduced automatically. My whole once I became independent at a very young age, my passion was to help people, to be there. My satisfaction was to help people. So instead of going into a very bad path, I found and doing bad stuff that will give me satisfaction, I found actually positive. I was basically using positive behavior to get the satisfaction, and that was through helping people. I got into the Army, and
also to help people.
It is to help people. Sure. My goal was basically to serve the Jewish nation. It was basically to give to the Israeli to the Israel country and to give for myself. I really believe that it's a high cause that I should do, and that's correct. It's also to help people, and of course I had to go to. I saw a psychologist because we all needed a psychologist. And then I came here to the U.S. I was not planning on studying social work at all. And I was trying to think, what should I do? And my uncle is a social worker, and meeting NEFESH and all the soldiers, and basically meeting Ari and meeting everyone, I realized that I'm good at something, and I am really good at listening. I also, in the exact same time, I started to work with ABA, and I realized that I could really do a change. So I started ABA, but not purposely. I didn't know really what it is.
Okay.
I was looking for something, and I sent my resume, and someone saw my resume, and they called me right away, and I started working with them. And I realized I can make a difference
at the time, right?
I still do that.
It's a good side gig.
Yes.
It also brings joy to kids, helps them, makes them feel happy, makes them feel, which I'm sure is part of what you're doing.
So the balloons, yeah, it's more a side business. That's not really the reason why I do it. I just have I also really I like working with my hands, and if I'm gonna stop that, what's the purpose of life? So that's really the reason why I do balloons. I did learn it from the hospital by volunteering. That knowledge comes from working in a hospital or volunteering in a hospital. But that's really where it came from.
That's cool. So going from, let's talk about ABA therapy for a minute. So like, what's your approach? What type of people do you help? I'm assuming it's mostly children.
Right. So in ABA, I do one-on-one groups. I work with kids. The youngest I worked with is 7. The oldest is 13. Do you want to direct the question? More?
Sure. I mean, like, what kind of issues are these kids dealing with?
So each kid has his own challenges. A lot of these kids, the kids I work with are kids on the spectrum.
Okay.
Some kid will work with, he's going to have anger challenges. He's not going to be able to control himself. And we basically work on practice with him how we could control ourselves, how we could calm down. We teach him how he could do it. One kid, for example, he is not familiar with, he doesn't know how to socialize with people.
Sure.
So we teach him how to do it. So we break it down and we slowly build it up. And at the beginning, we just start with a small skill that could help him later on in a month, 2 months, 3 months. It depends each kid and his progress. And slowly we build the program and we build more and more targets to conclude to that goal for him to be able to meet someone and start having a conversation with him.
That's awesome. So like, what would be one tip that you would give for parents who have a kid who is probably on the spectrum, who has, autism? Like, what's one tip that you would give their parents to having either a better relationship with their kid or having their kid have a healthy life? That's something that you might have noticed by doing ABA therapy.
So it's actually interesting because I met someone and he said to me, why should my kid see therapy? A lot of people in the community are scared to send their kids to get diagnosed, even though they're clearly on the spectrum. I don't say it from knowledge. I just say it. I heard it from a couple of people in the field.
Sure.
So
it's industry knowledge, common industry knowledge.
Yeah, it's not something that I really searched. But basically, they asked, why should I do it? Like, why should I diagnose the kid? And some people even said to me, my kid will, okay, right now he doesn't know how to talk to people, right? Right now he has his anger issues. Right now he has his challenges, but later on he's going to catch on, he's going to figure it out and it's going to be okay. Sure. But the thing is, why make a kid suffer when he's young? And clearly when the kid's going to grow, he's going to have a lot of more challenges, emotional challenges. And I know it could be trauma. It could be so many stuff that you could avoid when a kid is young. And why not just stop it by, you're going to take your kid, you're going to diagnose him and even though you don't want to keep it, you want to keep, you don't want, my kid's diagnosed. It's going to ruin my family's name.
Sure.
But it's your child. And if you're not going to take care of it now, and he's maybe going to catch on the slang, he's going to know how to talk to people. He's going to know how to deal with his challenges, but he's going to have a lot of luggage with him when he grows. And it's something that you should not have. You should take care of it when he's young, not.
So don't wait.
Oh, let's okay, and then when he gets older, it could be it could lead to it could lead to a lot of problems that you don't want to have.